Hello, everyone. So I'm with Chris, who's the MD of the Wessex Garages.
Wessex Garages, yes.
Garages. And we've known each other for many, many years, and we'll be working together for the last, got to be about a year now, isn't it?
Yeah, just over there.
Yeah, it's over a year. We're just leave the NFDA driving automotive event, where non-unexpectedly one of the main topics of conversation was AI in automotive. So we thought we'd have a chat about what AI means to us in automotive, and more specifically what it means to Wessex. So, Chris, where's AI fit into your world?
That's a complex question, but I think I picked up a couple of phrases today. One was AI is not always the answer, which is a really interesting kind of view on what a lot of people see as AI being the panacea for everything. We are using it in a kind of experimental way at various levels. So we use it for lost sales, to follow up lost sales quite a lot. That's an automated process that we've got, and of course we use it under the disguise of your business and what you do for us. So I think it's got a place. I think everybody's trying to find their feet, and where that fits. But I think there's some real significant differences between, the customer interaction with AI, and operational efficiencies, with AI. And I guess that's the bit I picked up on today. The lead management scenario that people are using for AI is, I don't think it's quite what everybody's.
It's not quite there yet, is it?
It's not quite there, I think. And I raised the question in the room today. Well, what's the customer experience? What's the customer saying about this? Is the customer enjoying it, or isn't the customer enjoying it? And I think everyone loses sight of that. We're a customer focused business.
There was a great stat from Australia, wasn't there? Of all the people who do all their research online, 91% of them still want to come into a business, a dealership, a physical dealership to purchase their car.
Yeah, which is great because it's dispels the myth about, we keep talking about people are going to buy their cars online all the time, and that's the future. The age demographic, the age cohort is quite interesting in terms of how long older people spend and returning and shopping online, or when they change their cars, and what happens to that, and the younger demographic that are more willing to spend money if the brand's aspirational, if you like. So I think there's more to be done in terms of the demographic, and there's more to be done certainly on the customer journey side. But I think there's other areas that AI will benefit the industry, and I'm sure we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's what is AI, isn't it, I guess? So, is AI the complex algorithms that drive automation, that mean you can do more tasks, contact more customers far more efficiently, effectively, and relevant, with more relevance than you've ever done before? That kind of algorithmic intelligence, is that AI? We would argue that it is, obviously, because that's what we do. The conversational AI that's replaced the old clunky chatbots that have got ever more improved through that kind of AI process that's kind of coming along and improving all the time. But I guess there's a risk in there that AI becomes a catch-all phrase for all tech now. We said in the Cal on a wheel, didn't we? Omnichannel was the buzzword. Now it's AI. But actually that AI talk is bleeding out into clever tech. So is all clever tech AI?
And that's a good question, isn't it? Or what the true definition of AI is. I think the comment from one of the speakers today is AI is probably the most disruptive thing that's going to happen in the automotive industry and a lot of other industries. But whether that's disruption in a good way or a bad way, is yet to be seen. Certainly when it is, a need to contact or do a repetitive function over and over again, then you can see it. I don't think it replaces people, because from what I'm hearing, it's not replacing people. It's more about, you still need somebody to oversee it. You still need somebody to manage it. You still have to make sure that what AI is saying or doing is actually what you think.
There's always rails are in place.
And these are terms and terminology that I'd not heard before. So you're learning all the time. The other one was hallucinations, which what on earth are we talking about? And we're talking about AI, to coin a phrase, having a mind of its own, and giving
stuff up,
making stuff up, giving information for the sake of giving information. I've looked at AI where you've inquiring on a vehicle, or you ask it, about tell what the best SUV is on a manufacturer's site, and it doesn't necessarily come up with the brands that manufacturer represents. And that's, whilst it's given a great customer experience to just telling me later, the manufacturer doesn't want to see that, and we as a business don't want to see that.
That's most guardrails, isn't it? And so the effort has to go into that kind of setup process, training process, whatever you want to call it. That means, if that question is asked, you're looking for answers from here, here, and here. You're not looking for the wide web arc of answers. You're looking for specific sets of answers from here, here, and here.
Yeah, and I remember years ago somebody saying, the jobs that people will be doing, not just in our industry, but in industry, haven't been created yet. And I think we're seeing that, where we're now going to have dealerships are going to have AI specialists. I'm sure a lot of them already have that. But you're going to end up with AI specialists to oversee this, and that could be as many people as you're currently employing. So the idea of it's going to replace everybody, you or me, I'm yet to see that one.
Well, some of the interesting stats that we've seen, haven't we, have been around the number of post-sales exec over the years, and with all the tech that's been deployed over the years, it's stayed exactly the same. Exactly. Now, is that because the job has become more complex, because we've put more checks and balances and demands and needs and all these things that have to now happen around a sale, which means actually you do need some tech to help with some of the heavy lifting, because the job of selling a car now is more complex than ever. So is the tech actually helping that, or is the tech preventing those sales actually declining?
I think if you're not careful, you end up tech for tech's sake. Really, you just said it there. We work in a really complex industry. And it's made even more complex by legislation and regulation and having to be compliant all the time. So some of that tech, some of that software, some of those systems are absolutely necessary, because without them we would fail on an epic scale. So there is tech that is needed. There is tech that you, as an industry, you always want we're terrible at having the next shiny thing. So that comes along. Is AI the next shiny thing? Or does it really sit in the business as a measurable, this is a bit that really wasn't touched on today, as a measurable success rate or not? But if you can't measure it, and how do you know that the AI is working?
What's the business problem you're trying to get it to solve? So I remember sitting down with a director of a large dealer group not so long ago at an industry event, saying, kind of, what are you here for? What are you looking for? What's going on with you guys? I'm here looking for some AI. Okay, well, what do you want? What do you want it to do? Well, I just want to see what it can do. Right. Okay. So what kind of business issues have you got that you think you need AI to solve? And actually, a lot of things he was talking about, there are already systems, processes, ours included, as part of that. There you go. Okay. That comes back to the whole, well, is it algorithmic intelligence? Is that what AI is? Or was that the first iteration of AI? All of these complex things that we could never do before, because there was just too many versions of things that you could do with some of the more complex contact strategies that we have in place. The only way you can do it for that is through the algorithms, automate it, and bang, away you go. The machine spits out the contact to the customers and directs it accordingly. The next step is that all kind of conversational AI piece, isn't there, where people are kind of focusing at the minute, and what comes next for it.
Yeah, there's a kind of a third aspect to that as well, which I've seen recently, and it's a bit where I think if this does what I've seen it doing for us, it's huge. And it's about this piece of AI analyzes every phone call that you have in the business. It looks and feels phenomenal. What do we get out of it? It will give us what we want to find out and narrow it down. It will give us a real feel of what's going on in the businesses, true feel of it. It will certainly speed up our time of, if we have customer issues and we want contact times and dates and what was said on the call, it will deal with all of that. But in terms of its value, it doesn't replace anybody, because we don't have anybody that's capable of answering, I don't know, probably 1 million calls in a year, or recording it and analysing it, and then into a transcript of it, and then summarising it, and then pitching it out to a deal or a complaint or a service issue. So we don't have that yet. So it doesn't replace anybody, but as a tool that's got to deal with thousands and thousands of bits of information, I think, yeah, I can really see that working for us, and I can see it being measurable because it will help us manage the business a lot better. So that's one we are, about to push a button, about to go live on, and just see what that does in terms of the business.
I think the great phrase what we kind of heard earlier on today was AI isn't always the answer. It depends on the question.
Correct. I wrote it down. But and it's that. But what it should do, it should whatever system process you put in, and this is a bugbear of mine where manufacturers' systems, we've talked about it, don't talk to dealer management systems, and don't talk to lead management systems, and it's completely joined up, and they don't want to share information, they don't want to share data, and it's a GDPR issue under the guise. Everyone needs to realize if that whole process is joined up and AI can help you join that process up, then we'll sell more cars. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to sell more cars. Manufacturer, dealer, doesn't matter. Join the dots up, and then it becomes big.
Really glad you said that, because obviously that's what we do for a living. Because so that's kind of seamless into the VoiceBox platform. So you've been working with us with the VoiceBox platform now for a year, about a year. What have you found have been the benefits of having it right?
I think the having real measurable numbers to look at is so helpful, because you're not in the dark then thinking how are we doing on this, what's our retention, what our VHCs look like, all of those questions that you have a gut feel about one business being better than the other, or one person being better than the other. It really narrows it down. It gives us a dashboard of what we want to see. And I think the measurement of key stats, KPIs in the business, the measurement of that and the management of that, I think will breed operational efficiency. And that's what you've got to have. Because, we can't recruit technicians, and we can't recruit various other functions because of an industry. That's where we are at the moment. You either sit there and go, well, we're just trying to recruit a technician, or you look at how do you improve the operational efficiency of the people that are there. The guy was saying earlier, he's got a whole business running on AI in America, and he's got robots running around delivering parts to technicians on ramps. And you go, more in the cost of that, but that is proper operational efficiency, isn't it? And I think that's what we've got to have, though. You can't manage what you can't measure. It's an old age. It's still true today. We are inundated with data. In dozens of different pots around the business. It's about bringing all that data together and having a real good understanding of what the performance issues are in each business. And that's where I think AI will work. I think AI can deliver that, whether it's a piece of functional software like you guys help us with, or whether that is the manufacturer helping us with it, the OEMs, whatever it happens to be. But if it joins up the dots, that's it for me. It's done its job.
Good. So in terms of the tech you're using, and then from us with the VoiceBox system for the emails and SMSs, the Leadbox platform for the gap and phone calls as well, does it help? Do you find it helps in the business to have all your various different data sources coming into one place so that it's all readily accessible? Many of the comms just go out with that. The machine does it. Nobody has to touch a button. But when they need to interact with that customer, they've got the information there in front of them.
It's perfect for telling us exactly that it does it, but then it tells us, well, actually, this is the best time. This is when your customers are booking in for an MOT. This is when they're booking for a service. This is the hot spot. And if that's AI in the background, analysing that, saying that's why we do it there, because that's what AI afraid us to do, then it's doing its job, because that's the key bit, because that is operational efficiency. That's operational excellence, isn't it? That's what we're after.
So in terms of the sales side of the business, how have you found the kind of stop alerts process before VoiceBox came along? Would your sales guys and girls have been able to keep on top of changes in group stock daily and keep open leads?
Of course they would.
So why wouldn't they? Absolutely, why wouldn't they? But the fact that the machine does it for them now and brings back the customer when the customer clicks the button and says, that's the car.
The fact that it happens in the background and it's doing it all the time is superb, and it's relevant information. We test it all the time when we go in and we try, but it's always relevant. It's relevant to that customer, and quite, if we can link that up to knowing then, so I could go back to information that customer did click on, did come on it, just fill the last bit of the journey out,
Yeah.
then I think we've got it now because, yeah, you need that. You know, we're working in a world of social media now, whether it's social or email or digital or SMS or, you know, WhatsApp, whatever it happens to be. That's what customers want.
It's the way they live their lives, isn't it?
That's how it's delivered to them. We all pick our phone up and look at 200 emails a day, I'm sure. It needs to be relevant at that point to that customer. And that's what it's delivering for us. So, yeah.
Excellent. Well, that's good to know. So the upshot seems to be AI is here to stay, is a developing beast that will continue to grow arms and legs, and at market delivery, we're kind of at the core of that, really making sure that anything that's deployed is relevant, usable, and isn't just for the sake of having it. So hopefully more to come on that as we go through the coming years.
I think we're going to see a whole raft of companies specializing with white label products that they can bolt straight into the business, and it's a question of trying to get the best of it and trying to see which ones are working, and don't forget you still would have somebody looking at it all the time.
It can't replace that human interaction. You need to learn from real life humans. You go, no, we wouldn't have done that. We would have gone here,
and then we'll all be out of a job.
There you go. Excellent. Thanks for your time, Chris.
No problem.
Catch up soon.
Good. Thank you.